Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time today to join us for today's webinar. First and foremost, I would really like to introduce myself. My name is Kyla, and I'm the content specialist for InUni Global. So today we will be discussing an overview of studying at Herzing University for prospective international students. Our speakers will provide a detailed look at why study in Atlanta, the programs offered at Herzing, student life, accommodation, breakdown of fees, and more. So we've also invited a current student to share their experience and will briefly walk you through the application process. All right, I'm actually very excited to introduce our speakers for today. These three women are very wonderful. Um, so yeah, maybe go to the next slide. All right. So first, we're very delighted to welcome Anissa Neill, who currently serves as Director of International Admissions and Operations at Herzing University. So in this role, she currently leads strategic initiatives to support international student enrollments and oversees operational process to enhance student experience. And also, she previously had the position for Associate Director of International Admissions. Please welcome Anissa. So lovely to have you here. How are you today?
Hey, thank you, Kyla. I'm great. Thank you so much for having us and for organizing this webinar for us today.
You're welcome. Next would be Monica Sanchez, the Director of International Student Recruitment for InUni USA partner institutions. With over 12 years of experience in the educational sector, she brings a wealth of knowledge to lead educational projects. Her expertise lies in navigating the development of education brands and identifying strategic marketing opportunities across the globe. So, hello, Monica. Glad to see you here. And thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
Thank you, Carla. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Anissa, for joining us today, and also for new and old friends that I know that are from all parts of the world. If you can actually type in on the chat box, where are you located? I think that would be valuable for us to know. And I'm very excited also for a very, very special guest that I know Kite is about to present.
Exactly. I'm very excited too. It is my pleasure, lastly, to introduce you Aayusha Rajaure, current STEM MBA student at Herzing University. Aayusha is actually from Nepal. So I bet some of our participants for today are from there too. So if you are, comment on our chat box. We would really like to know and welcome you here as well. So today she will be sharing her valuable insights and experiences as a student at Herzing, giving us a glimpse into her academic journey and what's it like being a student? So, hi, Ayusha. Thank you so much for giving us time today. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I'm so
Okay.
excited to
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, so excited for our speakers for today. So, before we begin, a quick note to everyone. Please know that the session is being recorded and a link to the recording will be shared with you after the session. Also, we do encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, even from the start, even now. If you have any questions in mind, you may just place it down below in our Q&A box, right in the center of your screen down below. So, our speakers will address as many questions as possible during the session, and we'll follow up via email just in case we don't get to you within the session. So, let's get started. So, Anissa, I wanted to know how's it like living in Atlanta right now? How's the weather there now?
So Atlanta's a really great place to live. We are fortunate enough to experience 4 seasons a year, which a lot of places in the US don't get that, especially up north. We were actually just having a conversation about the temperature and the difference in the way it's measured from the US to most other parts of the world. We have our kind of own US measurement system here. And so today, for example, it's probably going to be around 90 degrees. And 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the way that we measure it, is roughly about 32 degrees Celsius, as it would be measured in most other parts of the world. And I know one of our colleagues here was sharing that today, there in India, it was around, oh goodness, he said 23 or 24 degrees, I think he said. And so that's around 75 degrees, which that's kind of a nice spring day here for us in the USA. So we do have a really warm climate through the spring, the summer, and the fall. And then Obviously, we do have cool winters, but nothing, that's nothing out of hand or anything like that. So it's really nice to be here. Atlanta is located just in the southeastern part of the U.S. So, if you see the picture of the country there, there we go. You can see we're located in Georgia, again, the southeastern part of the U.S. We're just north of Florida, which I'm sure most people know where that's at. Disney World is there in Florida, just south of Tennessee. And then we're kind of sandwiched between South Carolina and then Alabama there. So Atlanta is also a really big city, a major city in the USA. And so it gives us the opportunity to have lots of major businesses and corporations, which I know that we're going to get into in just a bit. And also it gives us, so much diversity and excitement going on in the city. We've got major league sports teams, baseball teams, football teams. We now have what we call soccer, but you guys call football. So we do have all those sports teams here in the U.S. too. And then lots of universities, with a really vibrant academic community here in the Atlanta area. So it really is an exciting place to be. And then in regards to the city and the companies, you can see this really great slide that we found here that has lots of information about the companies that are in the U.S. or sorry, in Atlanta specifically, and the growth that we expect over the next several years with these companies in the U.S. So there's lots of Fortune 500 companies here. Again, Atlanta is a major metropolitan area. So, you drive through and you know that you are in the downtown area of Atlanta, and you'll see lots of big brands as you drive through. There's Google, there's Bank of America, there's a Truist headquarters here, in addition to Airbnb. There's a Cisco headquarters here, a National Cash Register. Like, there's a lot of really major companies that are located here in Atlanta, and we're really fortunate to have that, and even fortunate to have relationships with some of those companies to help our students find jobs after they graduate.
That's amazing. Actually, I think I heard the world of Coca-Cola is also based there, right?
It is, yeah. And so I don't think we're going to touch on it today, but we
Yeah.
actually do a kind of a field trip with some of our students a few times a year, and the world of Coca-Cola is actually one of the places that we go. I'll tell you, it's
Wow.
funny, Kyla. I live here, and so the world of Coca-Cola is kind of something that we visited as kids, kind of going on field trips. And so you kind of don't think about some of those things that are here. But yeah, the world of Coca-Cola is here. We also have like the second largest aquarium in the entire
Wow.
world is located right here in Atlanta. Lots of things that are here. Atlanta really, like I said, it is really a big major city. And so it's really easy to forget all of these things that are located just right here down the street that we can go and visit, and that students do take the opportunity to visit while they're students here.
That's amazing. Actually, a lot of businesses are located in Atlanta, as I recall. And aside from that, we do want to show off our students. So as we move on, we'd like to call on Aayusha. So Aayusha, how does it feel to be a student in Herzing? Like, maybe you could share some of your experiences. Then right after, um, Monica could also introduce the courses.
Hi everyone. So currently I'm studying Masters in Business Analytics at Herzing University. So far I'm at second semester, and so far Herzing University has been the best for me. Initially I was nervous because growing up in one country and then moving to a new country, everything is new, the culture, people, food, everything is new. So you will obviously be scared, you will obviously be nervous, but here coming to Herzing University, all the nervousness, all the scared was actually just in my mind. When I came to Herzing University, the staff, the faculty members, everyone has been so positive with me. They have always been supportive. They never let me feel like I'm away from home. I always felt home at Herzing University. And also the way they teach, the way you engage with people, it's always been very positive with me and Herzing.
That's actually wonderful. Monica, I think they also have a lot of programs, right? Maybe you can touch on with the courses that they offer.
Yes, of course. So I know Anissa's gonna jump also here because she's extra knowledgeable and she can give us a tour we just have refreshed the new programs this year. I know, but for example, cybersecurity, which is in the past we had another program, and we condensed it into this new program. So Anissa, if you want to give us an intro, and later on I can compliment you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Monica mentioned, we have done a full program refresh of all of our IT programs this year and our business programs. And so we really have felt like there has been so much change in the environment of business and IT, especially with the introduction in the last couple of years of ChatGPT and all of the AI resources that are available. And so it was really important to us to make sure that our students are not left behind as the world moves forward with all of the AI resources that are there. And so, again, all of our programs, business and IT, so essentially everything we offer to international students has had a full rewrite and facelift and renovation to make sure that these programs are exactly what the market is going to demand, so that when our students graduate, they're not already behind on all of these really important topics. So you can see here on the screen, these are 3 undergraduate programs that we are offering to our international students right now. We have a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. Both of those programs are what are called STEM eligible programs. And I don't think we're going to talk about it too much today, but I do encourage you to research if you're not sure about what a STEM program entails. But essentially, it means that a student is eligible for an additional 2 years of work experience on top of the 1 year that all students get after they graduate from a program. So essentially, anyone who graduates from a STEM program can get a total of 3 years of work experience in the US. And that is invaluable. And the experience that you can take to go back to your home country, we've heard so much feedback about how students that get even just that 1 year of work experience and how much higher ranking they are in the job market in their own countries, if that's what they decide to do. Obviously, there's lots of options of what you can do when you get finished with school or even after you finish your OPT. But those STEM programs and that additional work experience, it's very, very valuable for international students. And then also we do offer a Bachelor of Science in Business Management. Again, that one has been fully rewritten as well. And that program also does contain a lot of those really important new AI concepts. And interestingly, all 3 of these programs, they are bachelor's degrees, which traditionally takes a student 4 years to complete, but Herzing does offer an accelerated pathway where students can do these programs in 3 years if they wish. It's not a requirement. We do have many international students that do take the full 4 years to get through these programs. But if you'd like to finish them in 3 years, you absolutely have an option to be able to do that.
That's actually fantastic. Um, uh, Even after, discussing about the courses, I do really want to know more about the student activities. Of course, that's one of the most exciting parts being like a student, right? So, shall we go to the student activities? Maybe we can dive
Sure.
in.
Could we cover these graduate programs first, if that's okay, Kyla?
Okay, no problem.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was supposed to have already gone through that. So just quickly through the graduate programs, I will say that our graduate programs have really, really grown over the last couple of years, especially with the addition of our MBA in Business Analytics, which also is a program with a STEM extension, and the program that Aayusha is enrolled into, our student that is joining us here today. So the 4 MBA programs that you see here, we have just a general MBA, also an MBA with a concentration in project management, and an MBA with a concentration in healthcare management. And then again, also that MBA with the business analytics that has the STEM extensions. All of these programs can be done in about 4 semesters or 16 months. I will say that most students take about 20 months to finish them because they do like to take that 1 semester break after completing 2. But a lot of students actually do finish them in 16 months in 4 semesters, which again allows them that quicker pathway through to graduation if that's what their goal is, and then also quicker pathway into being able to getting that work experience. So all that to say that really whatever your plan is, if you're trying to extend your time in the US a little, we can try to help you with your program in that. If you're trying to get finished as quickly as possible because you have a family and you're trying to get back home as soon as possible, we can help you with that as well. So whatever the goals are of the student, as long as we can, kind of get through those and the student shares them with us, we can get them through in the manner that is going to suit them best.
Definitely. And if I may add on these topics, one thing I really like about Herzing is that they have selected each program very thoughtful, as Anissa was mentioning. As we all know, STEM designated professionals or students that come from STEM backgrounds have higher chances of having best salaries in the United States. This is by Open Doors data, in which we find that students from STEM can get even 50% more than non-STEM designated professionals. And just to add, just being in Atlanta and being a STEM professional gives you that. So it is actually right now a median of wages for STEM professionals of around $105,000 per year. So that means that up to the highest, Atlanta is actually having those professionals that are best paid in the STEM program. So it's very nice. All of these programs as well have a lot of possibilities to be adapted to any other country. Example, if you are not planning to stay in the United States, but maybe go back to your home country, which can be in Asia, it can be in Latin America, it can be all over the world. Cybersecurity, an MBA, business analytics, management, healthcare management, all of this are also very flexible for all the demands that it's over the world. So no matter what your plan is, this is our safe programs that are going to definitely help you on progress and future, and also getting a very good salary, hopefully.
It's actually very thoughtful idea, and that's what I really like about Herzing. They really understand the students more, and they really think about the students welfare even after graduation, and a lot more plans. So yeah, after that, can we touch on the student activities? Sorry, I was really very excited earlier.
It's okay. Yeah, sure. So we do have a few clubs on campus. So depending on what your interest is, could be dependent on, kind of how you find your best fit for clubs that we would have. So we have some cultural organizations, and then also some volunteer organizations on campus where we try to do like different volunteer activities, volunteering at food banks, volunteering to help the homeless or the needy in the area. So we have some events with that. And then also some academic clubs on campus. A lot of these are more specifically related to like technology, for example, or healthcare. And so we do have some of those organizations on campus. Some of them are more active than others. It just kind of depends on who the student leader is at the time and how excited they are about it. So it's really important to have really strong student leaders in these positions. And then also, we did talk about this just a little earlier. I actually forgot that it was here on the slide, but some of the places that we do visit as part of our field trips is that World of Coca-Cola Museum, that aquarium, the Civil Rights Museum. We've taken students in the past to visit the Capitol building in Atlanta, which if you've never seen it, you should look it up. A lot of the U.S. Capitol buildings, a lot of them look very similar. But the one in Atlanta itself is very beautiful. It has a dome on it that is actually made from real gold. And so it's a really beautiful building that we have gone to visit as well, in addition to some other places around campus. And with our new location in Sandy Springs, we're actually kind of scouting out some new places now that we can take students to as they learn about the U.S.
Amazing. Aayusha, can I ask you, and I was just broke all protocols here, but what is the favorite places that you're visiting right now? Maybe you and your friends, what a weekend maybe look like, or any other field trips that you want to add that maybe we're not having here on the slide?
Since I came to Atlanta, I have been moving with my friends. I have been visiting different places. Like I went to Georgia Aquarium. University took us to aquarium, but with my friends, I have been to the other city, that's Helen, and also I have been to downtown. The downtown in Atlanta, it's actually very good. The buildings, the huge places to just roam around the streets is also very good, and also every single places in Atlanta is good. Even the Sandy Springs, just the area around our university, it's so good. Just roaming around makes you feel so good. So actually, the entire city, entire place, I just love the place.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. And any other recommendation or a local attraction that you think it's a must to visit that can come to your mind, maybe just as a reference for future students that are here with us today?
It's actually aquarium. The huge,
Okay.
the variety of fishes is actually so good. I was so excited to see the fishes. I was so shocked that are there these many kind of fishes in the world. It was just amazing.
That's so nice. And in terms of the organizations, we see here the Academic Volunteering Club and also the cultural organizations. Are you part of any of those, or are you planning on, I don't know, maybe joining one soon because you are still exploring some options?
Currently, I'm working as an international student assistant, so I'm excited to explore more options as well.
There you go. Nice. How's your experience? That's very
It's
nice.
going good so far. It's going good so far.
That's a great, amazing. And I know that up to the top of the student activities, we have the support services that I know we're gonna cover right now. And maybe Anissa can give us an introduction of what the student support services are in Herzing. And then Aayusha, if you can also help us a little bit on your experience, maybe you have been using some of the services, maybe online, on ground, or what's your experience so far with the support services that are offered by the university?
Yeah, so if we could advance to the next slide, please. Thank you. So these are the support services that you'll see at Herzing, and I will say we have an amazing, this is not just me touting on my university. I feel like Aayusha will be able to echo what I'm saying. We really have an amazing team at Herzing. We have a great staff and faculty of people who really care about our students, regardless of whether they're an international student or a domestic student, whether they're an MBA student or in some other program, it doesn't matter. And so we really all take really great care in making sure that our students are taken care of. The different services that we offer are one is the Student Services Department. And our Student Services Department really helps students with any challenges that they may be facing as they go through school. So that's really your first stop. And especially even when students don't know about a lot of the other services that we have, he can help you get to the right place. So we've had students have so many different challenges while they're in school, and it depends on, what their situation is, if they're here by themselves, if they've been homesick, or if they've had, a family member with some health issues at home that they've been concerned about, if they've had health issues themselves that they've been struggling with, if maybe they're having a class particular that they're not doing well in and they need some additional help in. He really is a great resource to help students know like what the next stop is to, or even just solution search, kind of what the next best thing is. So our Student Services Department has lots and lots and lots of resources for students that he can share. Academic coaches that we have on campus, a lot of these are really going to be like department chairs and program managers and people that intricately know the programs that they are teaching that can help students down the right path. So knowing what you want to do with your future, knowing, maybe what industry that you want to work in, or, if you're looking for an internship, helping you or pushing you or suggesting you towards the right companies or the right place to look. Our academic coaches are really great in being able to help students with that. We also have a tutoring center and a writing center with library services. And a lot of these are well, actually, all of these are paid tutors, but some of them are even Herzing student tutors. So someone who has been through the class before you, that maybe did really well in the class and can give you a student perspective and how to best accomplish the skills that you're trying to learn in the class at that time. But there's also other paid tutors, like outside paid tutors that Herzing pays. This is a free service for students. And then again, the writing and the library services, and those you can go there on your own, or you can go there with a referral from Student Services. We have a wellness and counseling resources on campus that are really important for our students. Again, international students have lots of different challenges. You know, we talk to students about the life cycle of an international student, how they get here, and they're in this just like really big, you know, excitement phase, and then things kind of start to level off, and then, you know, they're all of a sudden, a lot of times students find themselves like, you know, what am I doing? Where have I been? You know, am I doing the right thing? And it's absolutely normal. And we do love to counsel students through that and help them understand the life cycle of an international student, and help them get to that place where Aayusha is at now, of being fully self-sufficient and knowing, you know, everything you need to do, how to do it, how to get there. You know, initially when students come into the US, something as simple as going grocery shopping can be really stressful. But once you figure out how to do it the first few times, you know, it really, you really do get to a place of being fully self-sufficient. International services is another really important service. I am actually part of this team myself. It's immigration advice and, you know, students that want to travel, if they can, how, why, where, you know, kind of best practices with that. And so also helping students maintain their immigration status in the USA. And then our registrar's office they basically help with scheduling and challenges and conflicts and making sure students are taking the classes that they're most interested in. And then lastly, our career development department, which our career development department is like, you know, one of the best things about Herzing University. There are so many good things, and I obviously realize I work here, and I know I love Herzing because I work here and I've been here for so long. But our career development team, they really are great. They help students with resume writing and interview skills and mock interviews and finding internships and jobs, and, you know, also guiding them down the right path of what's next for them. And I actually happen to know Aayusha has had some really good experience with some of these resources. And so, Aayusha, I think you mentioned that you have taken part in some of the counseling and wellness resources. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So initially, when I came to USA, I was actually very excited to explore, but also kind of nervousness was kicking in. So when I came, everything changed. So as I mentioned earlier, moving away from home, cultural change, people change, food, everything, all the habits change. So I was actually kind of nervous. But Herzing University actually conducted a class which was reducing stress and anxiety. So I attended the class, and in the class, I learned about how the cultural changes affect you and how you grow through that. So initially, I was actually nervous, but I grew through that. And right now, after the class, right now I'm at that place where I'm not anymore nervous or stressed. Now I'm more excited to explore the things about USA. So I was just used to my home country, but now instead of being nervous, I'm more about growing and then learning more about the country. So the counseling class I took was actually helped me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then also, I do know that at one point shortly after you arrived, you met with our career development team. Can you tell us, you know, what was your motivation in meeting with them so early in your program, and how did that go for you?
So Herzing actually provides various resources and services, but the first and the best service that I used personally was career development service. So I went to the career department, and then I talked to different people, and they helped me update my resume, and then also I took some interview courses and classes with them. And due to that, that helped me a lot, actually, me personally, because right now I'm working as an international student on campus. So this opportunity is actually a very great opportunity, and because of the help of career development department, I got the job. So right now, career development department has actually helped me personally a lot.
Awesome.
And also,
Thank you so much for sharing.
I have
Sorry.
not used that. I have not used that, but I have seen my seniors who have actually got many different internship and then job opportunities by getting help from the career development department. So even me, after my second semester, I'll definitely catch that opportunity as well.
Definitely. No, and also one thing that I really like about Herzing is what we're seeing about tutoring and writing center. Sometimes I think this is a department or a support service that we do not understand internationally. So, but basically, this is a space in which you can find tutors, as Anissa said, that can be colleagues of your classroom that sometimes understand better in the same way that you understand the class, because you are receiving all this information from a professor. So it's like many clubs that you do in order to study and help each other for tests, or in terms of the writing center as well, it's about having like better grammar skills, spelling skills. We all know that in order to get accepted to Herzing, you need to have a minimum requirement of English that we're going to just check in a couple of minutes. But the fact that you're getting into a university, it's about developing the professional skills of writing. So these are not going to be anymore those small essays or paragraphs that we put in for testing or, you know, standardized tests. This is about like how you present yourself professionally by the way that you write in emails, by the way that you present your documents. You're going to be doing capstone papers as well, which require a lot of training, and those papers do not come from the day one. There's actually something that you keep developing year by year, and that's going to make a big difference on your professional career in the United States. So I really think like that's a big department to always look at. And even though if you feel that you don't need that help right now, as you showed, like maybe in the year one she was already looking for that help and that support, it's never too early to start developing those skills and start preparing for what's going to come in 3 more years. Or if you're in an MBA, it would be in a short more time. So it's good to start from very early beginning, because who knows, that can open the door, as I was just mentioning. So great. So I know that another topic that it's very curious and common is where I'm gonna live, right? And I imagine you getting a lot of emails from students like how I'm gonna get an apartment. And just as from my point of view, one thing I really like about Herzing is that they're giving you the flexibility to choose where you feel better to live and what's your budget for it. And maybe you would like to live very near campus, but maybe you want to be a little bit more far away and just get another type of, you know, home that it's a little bit bigger. Who knows, right? You want to share with friends, or you want to be near family that maybe you have there. So the flexibility that Herzing gives you of living off campus is great. And I know Anissa is going to introduce us to the options that you have as you get in Atlanta, and to choose the best home. It will be for a short amount of time, and later just to decide where you want to go, or just compromising yourself from the very beginning with a long-term home. So Anissa, I don't know if you can give us a tour on this information and what are the international students doing regarding homes and housing options.
Yeah, sure. So I will say our students are very creative. They do lots of things and find lots of options when it comes to housing. So as you said, Herzing University does not have our own housing resources, like our own housing that is issued by the university. So students do have the flexibility to make selections on their own housing. And so where the campus is actually located, there are actually a lot of apartments that are just a 2, 3, 4 minute walk from the campus. And then some that are maybe, 10, 15, 20 minute walk from the campus, depending on how comfortable you are with the distance. And we actually do share those resources with students if they ask. So we can share a list of apartments that are available, kind of, the contact information for them and how to reach out, and kind of rough estimate of what the cost for that would be. But one of the things that I recommend is using the shorter stay options initially when you come into the U.S. One thing that is really great about Atlanta is we have a transit system that is called MARTA. MARTA, you can literally go anywhere in the city on MARTA. Now, I will say some of them are not always the fastest routes. Things along the train line itself are probably the easiest, most convenient to get to. But in addition to the trains, which go north and south, east and west, there's even one that kind of goes like northwest to southwest, or northwest to southeast, sort of. And so as long as you're along that train line, like I said, you can literally get anywhere in the city. And so we have some students.
Anissa.
Oh, sure.
I would add on something. So me being a student, MARTA has actually helped me a lot. Being an international student, just coming to a country, getting a car is not possible. But here in Atlanta, MARTA is actually the best thing that I have got. I can go to any place using MARTA train and then bus. So MARTA is actually one of the best thing here.
Thank you for sharing that, Aayusha. I almost forgot to mention MARTA. But the way that the transit system works, you could live, 20 minutes away from a campus in an area that isn't right downtown and maybe is a little less costly to live. And you could take MARTA to get to the campus. We're actually kind of sandwiched between two MARTA stations. And so depending on where you come from might depend on where you get off. But with those housing options, my recommendation is if you're not coming to the US with someone that you know, which we do have a lot of students that are fortunate that they got a visa, their friend got a visa, or their cousin or someone else was also able to get a visa to come to the same school, and they come and they live together. And obviously that's like best case scenario, right? Like what you could have to come to the US with a friend and study. Obviously that sounds amazing. But a lot of students come and they're on their own. Aayusha is an example of that. She came here initially and she stayed in like a shared housing with another woman who was a student actually at another school that she was able to find. And I think she has even just recently moved out into an apartment with her friends. And so she was able to get here, kind of learn more about the city, see, where she thinks would be best, meet people that she knows and that she trusts and that she wants to live with. And now she is in like her perfect housing solution. Now, prior to that, when students first come, again, they don't always know what they want to do. So we do have these shorter stay options at what are called extended stays, where they rent to students, where they allow you to rent by the week. And so I usually recommend that students come in and do that for the first couple of weeks so that they can learn a little bit about the city and go and visit these places, because it's hard to look online and say, oh yeah, this place looks nice, it's got a kitchen and, they have a gym and, I think I want to live there. And then you get there and maybe the pictures are really old or they weren't what you expected, or maybe it's not as close to MARTA as you thought it was. They said a 5-minute walk and it was really a 25-minute walk. And so when you can get here and see it, it gives you a better opportunity to kind of know and feel and see and feel what feels best to you. But in addition to that, we do have, there are a lot of student-only housing options in the Atlanta area as well. They are a little bit of a trip on the MARTA train, that they're right downtown. And there are probably 20 different properties downtown that you just have to show that you're a student. And if you're a student, you can live in these properties. It's a very dormitory style apartment. So there's a full kitchen and living area that you share with other students, but you would have your own bedroom, maybe your own bathroom, or maybe you share a bathroom with one other person, sort of situation like that. So there really are a lot of housing options. You just have to kind of decide which one is best for you. And it does take a little bit of legwork to find which one is right. And then again, once you get here and meet students, almost every time students find their perfect match for living, who they want to live with, and then obviously a place that's good for them and whatever their budget is for living expenses.
Definitely. And also like to keep your lifestyle, I think, because as you mentioned, Anissa, maybe you want to live, if you are sports oriented, maybe you want to be nearby gym or maybe near swim pools or whatever other options, parks, just to go run. Or I have heard stories about students. I don't know, Aisha, if this was your case, but I have many students that say, oh my God, I will love to cook my own food from a country because I'm gonna be like so homesick about my mom's food or family's food. So many decide to have like apartments in which they are allowed to, cook something that remembers them home. So I think like those little details can accommodate a better understanding of adapting into Atlanta and into your new city, and can make you feel a little bit more home, as Yusho was mentioning. So I think that's important, and that's the flexibility that we have for housing, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I really gotta give it to Herzing. Not every school offers short-term housing, and with all the amenities that we see here, it feels like we're staying in a vacation home or like a hotel. So it's really fantastic to see this amenities and everything that Herzing offers. Um, Also, as we move forward, a lot of students want to have this plan. So even when planning for the school that they want to go to, I know that because I became a student myself before, and one of the things that I really look forward to knowing about is the tuition, the fees, the scholarships that they have. So maybe we could get more into details about this.
Yes, I think this is another fantastic point in consideration when you're choosing your university, as you mentioned, Kyla, which is budget, right? Herzing has designed a special international scholarship program that's very special for all internationals I just mentioned. So it is based about $10,000 per year. So let's do some math, as you can see here on the screen. So if you're going for a full year program, that means that 10,000 per year times 4, that means that $40,000 scholarship. It's a possibility for you if your profile qualifies and it's accepted. So this is very, very good. At the same time, the same happens with the MBA or the programs of 2 years, which will be the equivalent 10,000 per year. Up to 2 years will be $20,000 equivalent for a scholarship. So basically, for making it easier, the final tuition after the scholarships that we just mentioned, it's for example, for a bachelor's degree for the whole 4-year period, it starts at 66,290, which is very reasonable, I would say, for international students. And then, for example, if we see at MBA with business analytics, which is where Aayusha is in right now, the same program, it is 36 credits total, and it starts at 24,950 for the whole program, which again, it's a very reasonable and affordable program. Again, one thing is that we're looking for qualified students, students that really want to make the difference and that are willing to accept the challenge that Herzing is putting on in terms of adapting and enjoying, and also transforming the student life into something that is vivid and that they want to collaborate and make new friends, and also that they want to be those brilliant students for their professors. So the scholarship, it's based in which we want nationality mix, and we want to reach out to any other international student that are interested to come to the USA, because yes, we still have big opportunities in the USA, as we just mentioned, and scholarships available for everyone. There's as you can see also the total program and credit, as Anissa mentioned. Normally it is 4-year program and 2-year program for the master's, but that will depend also for register office and how you want to manage your student life. So that's why it's so important, the support system that we have at Herzing, so you can manage your times and also your credits. In terms of Aayusha, I don't know if you want to mention, now that we're on this segment and closing with the programs, how is the program that you are studying? What are your insights? What's being new and what's being interesting about your MBA right now with business analytics?
So I studied bachelor's in international business, and here studying master's in business is actually my major that I studied and that I am actually interested. And the interactive learning program, the interactive learning environment here in Herzing is actually quite engaging for me to learn. And also the way the professors are understandable and the approachable. It's actually very exciting to learn MBA. Personally, for me, it's actually very exciting to learn MBA at Herzing.
Thank you very much, Aayusha. So, dear friends, as you can hear, this is a very nice program that you can look at. Of course, has a scholarship, but if you are right now maybe in another looking for a bachelor only, we also have STEM programs in that category with a big scholarship of $40,000. Kyla, if we can go to the next one and check some application deadlines. This is one of a big call that we're right now having with Anissa, so we can cover every student that is interested into joining this session, this fall session, and spring as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just curious, Ayusha. Well, before we go there, I do wanna, if you could share with us, Ayusha, your journey. What made you decide on, studying in the U.S.? Of course, we have a lot of international students here. Maybe, they could get a few points from you, or like, maybe a few tips on how to make it there, and how to be happy in the US as well, like while studying.
So for me personally, thinking about abroad studying and thinking about broadening your studies, USA was the first country that came on my mind. I'm sure it's for most of the students because USA is the country with different opportunities for all the students. And when I first applied to the university, for me personally, actually, it was just not even more than 2 months duration from the day I applied to the day I arrived to the university. So when it's not even more than 2 months. So when from the day I applied to the day I arrived to university. So when I got my acceptance letter and then I-20, I was actually very excited. But what happened with me was, since I was from Nepal, and actually I didn't have much time to book my visa interview because my classes was starting from January. And then I got my acceptance letter on November. So when I tried to book my interview dates, I didn't get an interview slot. So I actually had to go to India to book my interview. So I actually went to India for my interview. And then even when I went to India, the date was not even that close. So I had to book on 31st December. And then my class was starting from 2nd January. So I just had 3 days time. So when I went to India, I actually gave my interview, and then luckily I got my visa. And then as soon as I got my visa, I informed Herzing University that I just achieved my visa, and then I don't have time to arrive to the university. So will you please extend my timing a week? And then actually I said they are very supportive. They understood what I was going through, so they just extended my arrival, and then I came a week later. So this is actually how I came to US. It's not even 2 months. It was that short journey, but it was actually amazing.
Wow, that's actually amazing. Pretty fast, actually. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that, Ayusha. I'm very sure that, the participants, the students that we have here, would be motivated to go to Atlanta and Herzing in particular. So yeah, Monica, would you like to, jump into the application first, or let's do
Yeah.
the Q&A?
Yeah, so let's check on final application deadlines, and also I am seeing a couple of questions regarding documents that are needed in order to apply, so I can cover that very quickly as well. So basically, we have 2 intakes open. You can still apply for fall 2025. As you can see right now, our start date it's the 3rd of September of 2025, but still we are collecting applications up to now. And then we have spring 2026 that it's already open for the ones that are planning to start on January. We're going to start just after New Year celebration, the 5th of January, which is a very good timing in order to maybe pass your last 31st of December in the United States, or maybe just right after. So these are the 2 intakes that we have available right now. The scholarship that I just mentioned, the 10,000 per year, it's applying for both. So you can still get advantage of the scholarship program if for international students. And just to add, what are we looking for in terms of English requirements would be, first of all, if we concentrate on undergrad, you have the option of doing TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, or Duolingo. The actual amounts are, or scores that we're looking for, it's 61 on TOEFL, 5.5 on IELTS, 44 on PTE, and 95 on Duolingo. We, of course, are going to be needing academic requirements such as a high school diploma, and the transcript of your high school. That would be also important. It needs to be completed so we can have a complete view of your scores and grades. Then for graduate, same standardized tests are accepted, such as TOEFL, IELTS, PT, and Duolingo. The scores that we're looking for is 80 on TOEFL, 6.0 on IELTS, 61 on PT, and 100 on Duolingo. For graduates, it's important because we see the GPA. So we're looking students around between 2.3 and 2.7 GPA and above, which is important. And of course, the transcripts that are complete with all mark sheets. That's very important as well. So imagine if you have this requirements, you are going to be eligible for scholarship and also for admissions in Herzing. If you need any more details on this, because we know it varies case by case, that's very important. We can definitely have a look at it, and myself and Anissa or the BD team that is regionally, so we can guide you through the process of completing the application. If you have an application that maybe is incomplete, that you just send a couple of documents, but you are still doubting about the rest, don't worry and do not hesitate. But we're here to help and in order to complete these applications, and then you can get the scholarship for your students, or if you're the students, to get your own scholarship with Herzing to start on fall or spring. Thank you, Kyla.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Monica. I believe if everyone wants, if some of the participants that we have here wants to apply, just go to the website www.gustgateway.com. And, we have a lot of questions right now. And we do have enough time. So we hope the speakers would be able to answer this one. So let me read the very first one. So, is conditional admissions available if English scores are low?
I can take that one if that's okay,
Okay,
Monica. Herzing doesn't offer an English language program, so a student would need to meet that minimum English language requirement in order to be admitted to Herzing. We do offer conditional admission based on, missing financial statements, which I think is pretty customary across universities from one to the other. But students will need to meet that minimum English language requirement in order to be admitted to the university. So we are not able to do conditional because we don't offer that English program. We're not able to do conditional admissions because we can't give you an I-20 for that. So we want to be able to provide a student with an I-20 so that they can use that to go to the visa interview. I will say that we take almost all the English exam options that are out there. I know there's a few new ones that have popped up recently, but Monica just went through the different ones that we take. As the Duolingo, the IELTS, the TOEFL, the PTE, the ITEP exam. So we do take a variety of different exams. And so we do that because we realize some of them can be really difficult to get scheduled for. Like I know trying to schedule an IELTS exam, you might go online to try to schedule it today and you might not get to take it for 6 months. So yes, we understand the challenge in getting that taken. And so because of that, I actually recommend that Duolingo exam. It's a very short wait time to take it. You could probably go online and register today and take it, probably by the end of the week or over the weekend. And the cost for that one is less and you get your score report really quickly. And so that is the one at this point that we are recommending just because of the ease of actually getting to the exam. There's a lot less barriers to taking the exam than some of the others. So, and then Kyla, while I have the floor, I saw someone in the chat, Praven, that mentioned that he came to our 60th anniversary celebration. Thank you so much for attending today. It was so nice to meet you last month at the 60th anniversary celebration. I'm glad you were able to attend today. So thank you for calling that out, that you're attending this webinar today.
Yeah, and if you have not seen the beautiful video about I would say a mini clip of 60 years of Herzing, you gotta see it. It has transport stories about the management of Herzing, the families and everyone that has been for more than 25 years, most of the management in Herzing. So you gotta see that clip. It's in InUni social media and also in Herzing. So go and check it out. I think it's very good to see and understand the whole story about Herzing.
Thank you so much, Anissa and Monica. I'm sure they will be entertained with that video. Just hop on to LinkedIn. I know that they will be able to check it out there. So moving on to the next question, we do have another one. So is it possible to switch from online to on campus later during the program?
So I'm assuming this is kind of an odd question. So international students can't take online classes really. And so for someone to have started online, that would mean that they would have had to have started their study outside of the USA. And so the answer is yes in that case. So if someone, let's say someone from Nepal, for example, started their study with Herzing University online from Nepal, and then wanted to transition to the USA to finish their program as an international student on an F1 visa, the answer is yes, you can do that. We have had many students do that in the past, and we've actually seen greater success in the visa interview for students who take that route. However, you can't do it the other way around. There was actually another question that I answered already about switching to online classes for an emergency or something like that, and the answer to that is no. So due to F1 visa regulations, international students have to take mostly in-person classes. So while there is some online available, it is very limited. So Aayusha, for example, I think you've been here for 2 full semesters. Is that right? How many classes have you taken online in total during that time?
I have just taken one online class.
Yeah. So, and that's again a requirement of the program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the program, I mean the F1 visa program.
Thank you so much, Anissa. Another question that we have here. Do you accept 3 years degree as per Indian standards?
Yes, we do. In most cases, very rarely have I seen us not be able to take the 3 year. But yeah, the short answer is yes, we do. And we do now, regardless of the NAAC accreditation, as long as it's a 3-year bachelor's degree, their GPA is a 2.7 or higher. And then if for some reason it's between a 2.3 to a 2.7, we would require them to write a statement of purpose for us to be approved by the graduate dean. But the short answer is yes, we do take the 3-year degrees from Indian standards and also Nepalese standards. Since we have Aayusha here today, we'll mention that.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Anissa. Yeah, let's go on to our next question. So, do you accept medium of instruction letter for admission?
We do not accept medium of instruction letters for admissions. And that is largely due to the results that we have seen for visa interviews. Students who have that proof of English language by way of an examination have a greater chance at being approved for their visa. And then also, in addition to that, student success. So students who have the English language proficiency exams and are able to pass those at the required level have a greater outcome of success at the university as well.
Love it. Thank you so much for that. Are there any assistantship opportunities available for international students in the MBA in Healthcare Management program, Anissa?
I don't exactly know what you mean by assistantship, but all of our MBA programs and actually all of the programs we offer international students have an internship at the end of the program. It's a 4-month internship that could be taken, should be associated with your program directly. So we do. So again, internships, yes, it's not a requirement. It is an option, which I will say most students do take because it's additional work experience. And most of our students that take internships are also paid for them.
Okay, that's very interesting. All right, thank you so much for that. How about what are the requirements for bachelor master's program?
Oh, so I wish I had something in front of me to say this out loud. Monica looks like she wants to say something.
Yeah, I can help a little bit. So again, for graduates, remember we need the English requirement that we just mentioned. Can be TOEFL, IELTS, PT, Duolingo. I'm gonna mention again the scores so you have them on mind. 80 on TOEFL, 6.0 on IELTS, 61 on PT, and 100 in Duolingo. Then undergraduate degree as an academic requirement that needs to be already finished. And we're looking for a transcript that portrays 2.3 up to 2.7 on GPA and above in order to be accepted, and all the transcripts and mark sheets, of course, included. And that will be it basically. And then your application in GOS Gateway, and of course, copy of passport that you will be needing. Please, a copy of passport needs to be not outdated. Like, please, let's have a fresh new copy of passport, clear, and that it's not expired. That's very important. So basically is that, and you can put the application through GOS Gateway. As you know, we do not have any fees regarding the application, and also no fees for I-20 expedition. That's very important as well. So the process is very smooth. At InUni, we take it very seriously. And also, Anissa's team is very helpful in order to have a short TAT for you in order to get your documents on hand so you can start scheduling your appointments for visa. So that's very important.
Fantastic. We do hope you took note of that. Yeah, so on to our last questions for tonight because I guess the time is really very short. But can we get an on-campus job while studying to support our expenses. Maybe this is for the working students. Are they permitted or allowed to do this?
I'm going to let Aayusha answer that question. Aayusha, are you allowed to have an on-campus job while you're attending Herzing University?
Yes, you can definitely have. So you can work for 20 hours a week. I personally am working as an international student assistant. So yes, you can work.
So for example, in addition to Aayusha's position, we also have 2 positions in our technology office. There is another student that works alongside Aayusha as an international student admissions assistant, and they work in my office. And then we have about, I don't know, 6 or 8 international students that work at the front desk that just kind of help to cover, answer the phones, guide people to the right place. They work to support events on campus, club events, student events, whatever, holiday events, whatever's going on campus. And so we do currently have quite a few international students that are working on campus. And then I did also see a question asking about the percentage of the student population that was international. I actually just looked at this, and I discovered that about 28% of our population at our Atlanta campus is international students, which I was surprised to see. I didn't realize it was that large. So it was good to see so many international students in our population at our Atlanta campus. So.
Yeah,
Well,
and we have many nationalities. Like, just in the last year, if I'm allowed to say, we have students from all Asia. I would say we have also from Latin America, and we are seeing a couple of students also from Africa. So you're going to have a nationality mix that it's amazing. Not only from the USA, which of course, as you can see, it's
yep.
more than 70% of USA population, but at the same time, people from all over the world who can actually be your next business partner, can be your next best friend, can be who knows, right? Like that point of contact that is going to open the door to you. I don't know. I think Anissa and Aayusha, everyone here will agree that those college friends are the ones that actually sometimes you hold through your life, not even the high school, but the college friends, and you make business with them. They
Definitely.
recommend you to your first job. And the Ayusha experience of being just on campus, I think having a job there, it's amazing because it's giving you a view of what is the actual job sector in Atlanta. You're learning from working for an international big corporation as education as well. Who knows, it's going to open you the door for many other industries as well. It's not that you're stuck only in, university or education, but it can definitely teach you about business, about customer service, about support service, about technology. So it's very good that you are taking this opportunity, Ayusha.
And also skills like communication skills, time management skills, which is actually important in actual workplace. So
yeah, just being here, right? Just like having this conversation right here.
exactly.
It's giving you and open the door. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I just let me ask you as we start wrap up, because I know Kyla is about to um give us the hint that we're about to close. But if can you give us some tips or advice for students from Nepal or even our agents that are here on this platform on what are the best recommendations that you can give to students if they are planning to go to Herzing, and maybe do's and don'ts in order to have a very successful trip to Atlanta and then adapting to Herzing and the campus itself?
So initially in my journey, I also had some obstacles. So one of the obstacles that I faced was while paying service fee, I had no idea how to pay the fee. So I had actually paid 2 times. So yeah, that was one of the issue that I faced. And also after coming to this country, I was actually homesick for a few weeks. Obviously every people have some kind of issues. Those are the 2 major issues that I faced, but these kind of issues students face. But right now looking at me, those issues were nothing, because right now I have grown so much, I have learned so much from Herzing. So those two, initially those 2 issues was making me feel low, because oh my god, I made this mistake. But right now I'm just growing, so it's actually not an issue. So just don't worry, come to you all guys are welcome to US. Actually you'll actually love the place. The Herzing University is best for everyone, affordable, and also the best course. So actually I'm actually proud to call myself a Herzing student.
That's actually amazing. Thank you so much, Ayusha. We're so glad that you've grown there and you've experienced a lot of things. I'm very sure even the skills that you have right now are very on par and continuously growing. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. That actually concludes our session for today. I know the time is really short, but we hope to see you again very soon. Again, for all the inquiries that were not able to be answered today, we will follow up via email with you. And then once again, we thank you so much for our speakers, Anissa, Ayusha, and Monica. Any last words before we say goodbye?
Nope, just thank you everyone for being here today and let us know how we can help you get any of the details and resources that you need.
Love it. Thank you so much. How about you, Monica?
My side, I'm very thankful for having you, Aayusha. Actually, I'm seeing some comments such as, I am from Nepal. Your insights really helped me to know about my uni, getting to know about a uni and someone from my home country. So, and that's really interesting. So this is why we're here for, to have this type of conversations. And I'm very thankful for having you, Aayusha. I hope that you keep shining as you do already, and that you can reach all your dreams and wildest dreams and targets that you have, and that you have a wonderful rest of of the summer already, and start a beautiful fall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, everyone, and we hope to see all our participants again very soon. All right. Goodbye.